Hi everyone, I hope you were all doing well while you were staying home due to this coronavirus. So today we are actually going to be doing a fun science experiment with everyday items that you can find in your household. Today we'll be learning about oil and water and dish soap and what happens when they're all combined together. So before we begin, we need to get our materials together. So for this experiment, you will need two clear empty plastic water bottles and make sure that both of them have lids on them. That's super, super important. Then you will be needing 2 cups of water, and you can just use measuring cups filled with water. You will also need 1/2 cup of oil. So I have my oil right here, and we'll measure that out in just a little bit. And you'll need some form of clock or timer. For this experiment, I'm just going to be using my phone, and that works perfectly fine too. You will need a permanent marker, which I have right here, Sharpie. You will need a measuring cup, and so I have both 2 measuring cups for the water and then 1/4 measuring cup, since we'll be measuring the oil into 1/4. And you will also need 1 measuring spoon, that's a tablespoon. And finally, you don't need food coloring, but if you have it, you can make a fun end result with it. So I don't have food coloring, but I have these Mio Sports grape flavoring that also will work as well. So now let us prep our materials. So first, make sure to remove any labels or any paper that is surrounding the water bottles, as most of them do, so that way you can see what's inside of the experiment clearly. Then you will take your permanent marker and we're going to label these water bottles. So make sure to label the first one. We're going to label this one oil and water. So I'm going to write it on the outside, oil plus water. And it's going to look just like that, just on the outside. And then I'm also going to label the lids, and I'm just going to put an OW in the lid. So that's what you're going to do for the first one. For the second one, you're going to label it oil plus water plus soap. So it makes it best to put it as close to the lid as possible. Water plus soap. And I'm also going to put OWS on the top. Perfect. So now you should have 2 water bottles where one says oil plus water, and then the other says oil plus water plus soap, so you don't get confused. And then I have both of the lids marked too. So afterwards, go ahead and pour 1 cup of water into each bottle. So we'll start doing that. Make sure not to spill. There's 1, and then you'll do the same for the other. Perfect. So now that we have both of these filled up with water, we're almost ready to start. Also, just make sure that you're in an area of good lighting, so that way you'll be able to see what's going on in the experiment. But let's get started. Okay, so to begin, we're going to start with our oil and water bottle. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your oil, and this oil can be anything. It can be vegetable oil, it can be olive oil, cooking oil, just whatever you have. And you're going to measure 1/4 cup of that into this little cup. So just like this. There you go. And then you are going to pour this 1/4 cup of oil into the oil and water. Probably should have unscrewed this, but we're going to do it now. And you're just going to pour it right into here. Ooh, there we go. Be careful not to make a mess like I just did. Take this clean off it. There we go. And now that you have that, you can put the lid back on and do the next one. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your oil, water, and soap mixture, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to measure out 1/4 cup of oil, into this cup. Same thing, take your lid off and then measure the oil in here. It definitely helps if you have paper towels underneath these, just in case there are any spills, because it's very easy to do that. All right, awesome. So now this one, you're also going to add your soap. So I did not put that in the materials, but also you do need dish soap for this. So you need dish soap, and this is what we're going to put into our teaspoon. So you're actually going to use 3 teaspoons of dish soap into your mixture. So we'll start with this. So here's 1 teaspoon. I'm going to put it into here. And then here's another one. And it can be any dish soap. It can be Dawn. It can be any other brand that you have. None specific needed. And then 1 more. Awesome. And then put your lid right back onto this one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of these mixtures and you're going to shake it for 20 seconds. So I'm actually going to start my timer and start shaking it. Make sure the lids are on there nice and good, so that way you're not making a mess everywhere, and that way it's not causing any issues. And if you want to do them separately, you can, but I think it makes it more fun whenever you're mixing them together. Perfect. And that's 20 seconds. So then you are going to let these bottles set for about 20 or 10 minutes. And you're going to set them here, make sure they're on a flat surface. And then you're just going to observe them over time. So you can hold them up in the light, see the different things that are happening. And then in the end, you'll come back and we'll talk about our results. So I will come back to you when 10 minutes are over. All right, so my timer is just about to go off, as it will now. Ooh. So it has been 10 minutes. Let's look and see what we have. So as you can tell, the oil and water mixture has pretty much separated again. And the oil, water, and soap mixture, there's a little bit of separation here, but the color is significantly different from this one to this one. And if you would like, you can take one of these, or you can take food coloring, put it in here, and make a fun little lava lamp. But now that we've completed this experiment, let's talk about what we can learn from this. So from this experiment, we can definitely tell that oil is less dense than water. It's why it stays towards the top and floats and creates this layer, and it doesn't dissolve into the water. So adding detergent soap can alter the effect of oil being added to water. So the detergent forms as a bridge to this oil and this water. And this allows there to be a cloudy mixture up at the top instead of just completely separate. And there's still some separation that occurs, but it's significantly different to this one. So I bet if we added even more detergent, you can see the separation will go down as time comes. And so the last thing that I wanted to bring up is science experiments can be fun. For example, now you know how you can make a lava lamp if you had these ingredients, oil, water, and a water bottle and food coloring as well. And just in general, there are so many incredible things in our world that we can make and make learning about science super duper fun. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.